Hello everyone, let's look at Nifty today, the weekly update, and let's look at how it's performing over the last couple of weeks since there's been a correction, and now we're also seeing it move forward, um, slightly taking support at the levels that I talked about over the last couple of weeks. Very sharp corrections there, and very quick offer of support as well. Please note this is only for educational purposes. This is not investment advice. Please read the disclaimer in the description box. The Nifty is at 24,243 currently and is slightly moving up. If you see this little trend here, that is just daily candles. So about 8 days, 2 weeks of that kind of performance. An important support level is at 24,168. Now 23,813 and 24,168 offer important support zones there. And that is where the Nifty is playing this out. There is, of course, an important resistance at 24,367 that is stopping the Nifty from going up. It's trapped in this narrow range for sure. The good news overall is that the averages and the support levels are catching up to the Nifty. Even the long-term supports have lifted up way below 22,000 to up here. So you're seeing a constant move. So that move though is not reflective in the price, to be frank, because the price movement has only been about 400 points, which is a very small range, a very sharp range for the Nifty to be trading in. Of course, there is some unsurety because, of course, the news and everything is a whole different topic. I don't talk about news in general. I speak about price points and price performance. Um, what's actually happening in the Nifty is there are a lot of the Nifty components that are overbought. Not the Nifty index itself, the index that is an average of everything else seems to be not yet there. So meaning that there is still a month, like I said the last time as well, before it becomes overbought or if it signals something like that. But currently the Nifty is not overbought, it's still moving in the right direction. The trouble though is in some of these big stocks that are overbought. I have covered some of these in my previous videos as well. That is worth checking out. So being overbought doesn't mean that they will stop that rally. It just means that it introduces a speculative um, round of movement in those stocks. Plus, it brings in a lot of volatility as well because the risk versus returns, obviously, the returns are high in those stocks as well because they're still running up high, but then the risk is also running very high. So, given that factor, some of them do decide to correct, which is having a detrimental impact on the Nifty itself. While I say that, if you look at the Nifty currently, there are some interesting levels that we're able to see. And these levels have been bang on when it comes to the last couple of months of predictions that I've posted so far. I've done this for years with the Nifty so far and others as well. But you have those videos to check out. Please do look at them. Look at how the support and resistance levels change. Those are going to be super important. It's critical to observe how they change versus how price performance changes. So far, the support and resistance levels have been moving upwards, including the resistance levels, which says that Nifty is trapped in this little bubble of pressure. That it's not necessarily a bad thing. That bubble of pressure can build into a nice base and then launch it forward. I still see the Nifty moving to 30,000 given the fact that it does move about 24,954 within this month. And there are some important resistance levels there that we need to take note of, right? So we're looking at the Nifty. The levels that I've listed out that are going to be important are 24,954, 24,745. These are two very strong resistance levels towards the top. 24,367 is also an important one currently, given the fact that we're looking at it as a resistance point right now. That is where the price is, right? But the other two are going to be really, really important for the Nifty to continue this rally. If the Nifty doesn't break through these, it's unlikely that we will see very high levels coming forward. The Nifty might stagnate and then suddenly give us a topping indication as well and taper off, maybe into a sideways zone or maybe into a quick drastic correction too. Right, so the support levels, a key weekly support stands at 24,168. but a key monthly supports are for long-term investors 23813. Breaking this will definitely see a lot more weakness in the Nifty, and the correction is going to go down until 22,683 or 23,000, that mark. Depends on how quickly it does that. If it does it very quickly, then 22,683, the dip, and then a quick sideways zone and an upward move. Or if it does it very slowly, that dip might not extend till 22,683 because price performance tends to create a correction by going sideways. And if it does that, that's a positive for the Nifty in the sense that there hasn't been a large correction, but the sideways zone can frustrate investors because it's not going to really offer any great returns there. So those are the levels that I've mapped out on the Nifty here. You can read them right here. What these levels are also doing, if you look at the monthly and the weekly charts, right, you can see very clearly how these look in terms of resistance and supports. You see how this is an important support level. It was slightly lower a week ago when I spoke about this, but it has since moved up a little so that the supports are moving upward, providing for the support to the Nifty. You can see how these levels are crucial. They're packed in together because we're looking at the weekly chart. They'll be even more packed in if you look at the monthly chart. That doesn't make any difference, but you can still see how significant these levels are and how these candles and the heads and the tails of the candles are mapped out in these. You literally have candles trapped within these zones. That is how crucial these levels are. You look at the monthly, you can see what's going on here. Nifty is clearly given as a red bar here, but then again, there is of course, I mean, the fact that this is a support level is reinforced by the fact that you see this formation here, and how these tails were headed towards this. There was some strong resistance there, check of weakness, a strong performance there, pull up to break that as well, and now this. There could be a correction to retest it. It is unlikely, given how the Nifty is performing so far. But we'll go with what the market tells us. And if the market decides to move there, if 22,683 breaks, that is when, as long-term investors, we will see the Nifty go down, have a significant correction. Until then, we don't see that happening. Everything above that is going to be just a continuation of the trend itself. It's just going to be a correction and a continuation. We've seen such corrections before as well. You can look at this one here. You can look at this one here, which is the 2021 correction. It looked very significant back then. We started at around 18,145 to 18,500 and then dipped down all the way here to 15,230. So 3,000 points odd. People were panicking then, people were looking for a way out, the market sped on. So you have to look at many more indications of how the market's performing rather than just a singular candle or a performance of a few candles there. Similarly, again, 2020, deep correction there, 2 months red, and then suddenly the Nifty sees its highest, most volatile rally so far. Most volatile, I call it because volatility doesn't really have to be a negative term. It just talks about the rapid change of price. So one of the most volatile rallies that we've seen came up in 2020 and has delivered the highest returns we've seen in the market so far. So that's the Nifty for today. Please do watch out for these levels and let me know how they worked out in favor or against your trades. And let me know if there's anything else that you want to see. Please hit a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back.